Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got everything for you today. The SEC versus Ripple. How about a former Ripple advisor joining the Federal Reserve? Talk about timing. The world's a stage. Everything feels like theater these days. Somebody roll that beautiful intro. Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here today. It's $1.871 trillion market cap for crypto. It's April 16th. Let's get into this. We got a lot to go over today. 40,000 plus for Bitcoin, 3,000 plus for Ethereum. XRP at 77 cents. It was pumping a little last night and yesterday, up to 81 cents, but right now we're ranging between 78 cents, almost even, and 81 cents on the top. We'll keep an eye on it. Take a look at this. The U.S. bond market wipes out over $2 trillion, marking the largest loss in recent history. Now, listen, you guys know between inflation and liking to diversify my portfolio to begin with, this is why I'm telling you I am topping off my Glint card again. I'm going to be doing it probably this coming week because it's the weekend right now. I'm going to be looking to top off my gold card with Glint Pay. If you haven't checked it out, check them out. Link underneath the video. Buy, send, save, and spend on your Glint gold card and just hedge the daylights out of inflation, let alone stock up gold. And it is physically allocated gold to you. Make sure you check them out. I am loving that. Now let's talk about this because recently we heard that Twitter got a proposal for a buyout to go private from Elon Musk. And here we see J.W. Verrett from, formerly from the SEC, an advisor here, actually makes a comment from Disclosed TV that said, Twitter's board is invoking a poison pill in an attempt to thwart Elon Musk's takeover, a defensive response that could lead to a massive dilution of existing shareholders. This is getting interesting, folks. They don't want him in. A lot of people, he says, on the site have no idea how the poison pill works. I tell you, this is going to get ugly quick if they keep going down that road. And look at what mainstream media is doing already. This is how quickly mainstream media is scared to death of Elon Musk taking Twitter private, because Twitter has been a pacifist to the mainstream media, carrying a spun agenda. Make no mistake about it. And here we see just how scared they are from David Portnoy here, who shows the fear that they have of Elon Musk and are trying to rebrand him as the brainwasher instead of them themselves as the mainstream media.
Who were Trump voters and are still Trump supporters, they go, yeah, you guys are going crazy. He's doing, what are you so surprised about? He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do.
Well, and I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah.
That is our job, she says. I tell you what, they don't want you to have your own thoughts. That's the worst thing in the world could ever happen as far as mainstream media is concerned. So they're going to try to paint him to be the bad guy because it's only okay if they tell you what to think. She should be fired immediately. There's no question about it in my mind. Let's keep going here. Universities are starting to incorporate the curriculum for cryptocurrencies and the technology of blockchain. This is a huge step forward because we know that the fourth industrial revolution can't happen unless you've got a workforce to support it. Take a look right here. We see that Bitcoin miners in Kazakhstan are not going to like this news. They got to pay more taxes correlated to the Bitcoin price. Now, I'll tell you what, if it's 60,000 and you're taxing me, and then you're going to turn around after it goes to 40,000 and I still got to pay the same amount of taxes, that's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. That is a problem. Look, there's trouble coming here. I've said this many times with Bitcoin and proof of work. You can't stop the technology, and that's absolutely true. But you can tax it to death, and you could regulate it out of existence if you wanted to. These people, you know, out here running the world are the same people like the mainstream media. You better keep your eye on them. Germany takes a positive stance, however, on cryptocurrency and trading and investment. It's moved up 3 places from 2021 to take the top spot. Germany is already one of the world's most crypto-friendly countries. Now let's get into it here. You know, we had that case that came out a few days ago from Fred Rispoli here, and he says, I'm giving him credit. After lengthy discussion about strategy and timing, to Fred's credit, he made the decision to withdraw in the best interest of the XRP holders his lawsuit that was going to target Jay Clayton and William Hinman. He said, John Deaton says he is confident at some point in the future, after the Ripple case is resolved and the XRP is declared a non-security, justice is coming. We can't wait, John Deaton. But we know you'll get it done. Right here, Jeremy Hogan chimes in here. In response to the class action lawsuit, or it was, I guess, just a lawsuit against Hinman and Clayton from Fred Rispoli here, Jeremy Hogan remarks here that because he's dropped the case, he says, lawyer Freddie Rispoli here spends days and days putting together his lawsuit, and he and his client decide to take a dismissal for now for the greater XRP good. This is such a rare thing to see among lawyers. Makes me warm and fuzzy. So that's good stuff to see all the lawyers really acknowledge that that's a positive move for everyone in the space. Look right here, because this is a tweet that was first put out late yesterday by James K. Filing. Shout out to you, Jim. The SEC has filed a letter stating that it does not seek to take additional discovery at this time, but both parties reserve their rights to take discovery limited to the disgorgement issue if necessary after liability is decided. So this is what the SEC letter is stating here. And Jeremy Hogan says, almost nothing would have surprised me more than this. And yes, this is a very good thing. The only remaining areas of delay are the area of appeal, to read the Hinman emails, and in general, just scheduling. It says here, SEC discovery is complete, and that's a big step forward. So it really is a big step forward for all of us here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we move forward any further, let's take a look at this really quickly, because there's a couple things that are happening here, and I'm going to walk through the best that I think I'm following them. So right here, James K. Filing also says here, the SEC has filed a request for an extension of time to file its objection to Magistrate Judge Ned Burns' ruling on the motion of reconsideration of the DPP ruling, which was denied. The SEC is raising new privilege assertions. Then here we see it is posted by James Filing again here. It says the SEC says that the defendants are prepared to proceed to summary judgment without a ruling on the Hinman emails and documents. So if I'm following this correctly, we really got two things happening here, which is the SEC is more than likely going to, you know, appeal the decision up to Judge Torres, but they're going to go ahead and set the schedule for summary judgment. So these two things feel like they're separate and they're kind of breaking apart right now, but they're going to come back and meet. And I think it's nice because the way I'm understanding this and the way I've had someone explain it to me is that essentially, you know, this is keeping two balls rolling here that will come back to meet as one. But that doesn't mean that the case is going to be over next Tuesday, right? So it is still by, you know, I know quite a bit of legal analysts in the space. Looks like we could still be into the end of the year, quite possibly in the next year too. Let's not take it off the table. And anything sooner is a nice surprise, right? So, okay, right here, we see here, this is Stephen Hubert. I wanted to share this because he has 5 points that he makes here that we need to pay attention to. Next Friday, the joint schedule will be announced, as we talked about, for summary judgment. Summary judgment will be scheduled by May. SEC will do everything to delay the DPP beyond the summary judgment, absolutely. Summary judgment creates precedent for projects depending on Hinman's speech, potentially. and his emails will become undiscoverable and sealed forever. And that could happen. You know, I have said, and I know many other people, I know Digital Asset Investor feels this way too, I don't think we ever get to see these emails. I really believe that the SEC finds them to be so damning that they will do whatever they can to keep them from us, maybe even settle. So we'll see there. Now let's turn here, because this is another big piece of news, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean big piece of news. This is Biden administration tapping a former Ripple advisor, former Treasury official, as the vice chair of the Federal Reserve. I'm telling you, this is a very big deal. I tagged DAI on Twitter the other day and said, I'm pretty sure this goes in the, as you say, all the world's a stage folder. You know, I call it theater, and that's exactly what I think this is here. Now, I'm not suggesting that there's any kind of collusion happening here. What I'm saying is that because Ripple has played the long ball, because Ripple has taken the approach of a revolution comes from within, and instead of taking the approach of, let's say, an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, which is anti-bank, anti-establishment, you know, approach, they've taken the let's work within the system. And because they've been doing that since, you know, 2012 timeframe and beyond, you know, then you have these moments that arise that say, you know what, because we've been in the system, this person who we brought from the Treasury into Ripple and now has the opportunity with the experience to serve in its application of blockchain, stable coins, and crypto into the financial system, makes this guy a prime asset to the administration. That's what I mean by theater, right? Is that, you know, when you really do the work the right way, you start seeing at some point the obvious choices are tied back to Ripple. Just like I don't find it to be a mistake that the 43rd treasurer from the United States, Rosie Rios, is on the Ripple board as well. I don't find that to be an accident either. But take a look at this, because in this, it talks about the fact that obviously in the position created in 2010 as a part of Dodd-Frank, Barr would be responsible for developing policy recommendations regarding supervision, regulation of banks for the Fed's board. And the move has perked the interest of crypto enthusiasts, naysayers, gives Barr's ties to the industry. It sure does. Excuse me. We know Barr will also have a lengthy to-do list on regulatory front, including pushing ahead with climate risk tests for Wall Street banks, implementing new capital rules and drafting new rules for cryptocurrencies and community lending. This is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the first time he's been really cited and nominated for something. If you remember, in the early days of the administration, Biden had actually tapped him for the OCC chair, Brian Brooks's former role. But he didn't get that, and that chair remains vacant to this day, actually. So we'll keep an eye on it. But this is a reminder for anyone new here that back in 2015, Michael S. Barr joined Ripple Labs as an advisor there, coming from the U.S. Treasury Department, as we mentioned. And we also know that the Federal Reserve back in 2017 cited Ripple improves speed and transparency of global payments since they put the Federal Payments Task Force together. Now, with all of that being said, we take a look at what's going on with the chart on the monthly. And just like Coins Kid had said, that there is some nice stuff shaping up on that chart for the monthly. And Crypto Bull 2020 is saying the same thing. XRP formed a cup and handle on the monthly chart. I'm expecting a massive breakout to the top, he says. Usually, the leading indicator of a cup and handle is it comes up, it breaks back for a handle, and we get a huge breakup to the upside. That's an indicator. It's not a guarantee, right? Not financial advice from me or anyone else, ladies and gentlemen, but that's where we are on this day. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. Check out all the links underneath the video. I'll catch all of you on the next one.